card about our Colorado legislators, and so pleased to have on the line with me Representative Brandi Bradley. She is my representative, and she also scored in the top levels for Liberty Scorecard. Welcome, Brandi Bradley.
Good morning, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Well, good to have you. Have you recovered from this legislative session? It was brutal, wasn't it?
This is probably the worst out of all three. Absolutely.
Okay. And you had done a video regarding this House Bill 1312, which is the radical transgender bill that there are those that have said that it was changed a bit. But the video that you had out on X was, I think, very informative. So tell us about 1312, what it ultimately ended up doing.
So 1312 ended up putting more into the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act. It ended up putting chosen name into gender expression. And I think, the liberal media wanted to try to put it out there that this is not a bad bill. This is just protecting the trans queer community. But what it is doing is it's a violation of the private school sector. It is going to go against the small business community, and it's going to go against parental rights. And, there were guardrails in the first place in the original 1312 bill where if you did it a certain amount of times, then there would be fines. And now there's no guardrails, right? It's just if you do it, your kids are going to be taken. Businesses will be fined. You see what's happening to Atarahanji, this beautiful camp that's been around since, I think, the 1940s in Bailey, Colorado. They're fighting for their survival. Any private schools that open their campuses up to summer camps, any public opportunities that they offer, Bible schools that come in, things like that, they're going to be subject to this new bill. And it's worse than it was before.
So what is occurring with these camps is several things. First of all, there can be boys and girls spaces, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then secondly, regarding private schools, regarding dress codes, I know many people like private schools with private school uniforms, and this would allow boys or girls to dress in the opposite gender's clothes as well, right?
Correct. They will be in gender-neutral clothing. I mean, somebody said this is going to be North Korea all over again, where everyone looks the same. And so the charter schools have lost their local control.
And what can we do about this, Brandi Bradley? I was thinking a lot about it this weekend in preparation for this conversation with you. And it seems that this beautiful Colorado that I loved is becoming something that I don't even recognize. So what can we do about this?
Well, you support people like Aaron Lee with Protect Kids Colorado and Do No Harm, who have filed a lawsuit against this egregious bill. You support CPAN, Lori Gimmelstein, and you support Jennifer Say with XXXY Athletics. They've all filed lawsuits, and also the school in Bailey, Atarahanji. A lot of my friends' kids go to summer camp there. You have to support these organizations that are fighting for all the people in Colorado and have filed lawsuits to go against this egregious bill. We have to support these people that are stepping up for the people of Colorado.
And then, yes, that Aaron Lee and Lori Gimmelstein have just been doing amazing work. And Jennifer Say, I have not met her yet, and I think that needs to happen for sure.
I can make that happen. She is, she worked for Levi's for a really long time. She was a gymnast. She opened the door to shed light on what was happening at the gymnastics level and all the sexual assault to these girls. And then COVID happened, and that really opened her eyes to what was happening to kids being forced to stay at home. And now on this, she's really fighting hard to protect women in athletics. And she is so amazing. We couldn't be more opposite, but it just shows you how these progressive Democrats are aligning people of all, backgrounds.
Okay. And her journey was to get to this point was really through COVID, and then she's created this business that's focused on really, I think, protecting women in women's sports. Yes.
Yes. And she was just doing it. Erin Lee and Lori and Jennifer Say were all in Oregon, because in Oregon you see what's happening with this transgender athlete that is trying to take over, I believe it was track and field, and then you saw it in California. I mean, it's funny, Kim, when people come on my page and say, this isn't happening, it's happening everywhere. Boys are trying to take over girls' sports. The feminists have been fighting for since the 1960s, right? And so you're forcing feminists to work with conservatives, and we're all fighting for the same thing. And it's a beautiful thing, actually.
So Brandi Bradley, 1312, really has gotten a lot of publicity, but there was a bunch of other very bad stuff down at the State House as well. What should people be aware of that's under the radar with over 700 bills and resolutions? First of all, there is no way that legislators can be reading all of these bills to know what is in them, and then to really think about what the far-reaching consequences are of each bill. But there are things that people are not aware of, and I was thinking it's almost overwhelming, the amount of legislation that is just being pushed out. It's really a bill mill down there.
It's a bill mill, and government is the Democrats' God, and people need to understand that. When the Democrats prime sponsor bills, you ask them a question, a mundane question, they have no answer for it. They are being puppeted to run bills that they have no answers for. They don't even know what's behind the bills. And I'll tell you, as bad as our governor is, I think he's vetoed 11 bills so far. Thankfully, he has taken some of the most egregious bills and vetoed them. I can't imagine if Michael Bennet is our governor and what he's going to pump through. But that aside, 1309, horrific bill, gender mutilation for children. I tried to run an amendment to take children under the age of 18 out of this bill. This is taxpayer-funded elective procedures for men to feel like women. You're talking boob jobs, vaginoplasty, laser hair removal that taxpayers are now going to pay for, because private insurers have to pay for these procedures for the trans community, even though women undergoing horrific breast cancer and other diseases that have changed their bodies have to pay out of pocket for these things. Men to become women, face remodeling, bone restructuring, we are now going to pay for that. And children under the age of 18 are not exempt. They will be included into this category. That, to me, is one of the most egregious bills that I think the people of Colorado don't even know about.
And that's one of the things we have got. One of the ways to stop all this is to at least stop the money. But that's the other thing that we've seen is a number of different bills regarding forcing insurance companies to cover this kind of surgeries and pharmaceuticals. And gosh, so Brandi Bradley, how is it? You can't call in sick, really, as a legislator in 120 days. And there were days that you were down there very, very late. How do you and all those others that really have stood up for liberty, how did you do it? Because you really can't call in sick, can you?
You can't call in sick. I think you think about the people that you support. It's not a one-person gig, right? You're representing, in my case, almost 100,000 people. And so, you're their voice. I take it it's a very important job to me. And so it doesn't matter how hard it is. You're the voice to parents that are losing their children. You're the voice to small businesses that were the sixth most regulated state. You're the voice to people that are literally losing their Second Amendment rights, their First Amendment rights. And, that is such an important job for me, Kim. I guess that's the only thing. And a strong faith base. I mean, I got to have lots of very sometimes screaming matches, sometimes a little bit more low key. But why have you put me in a state that takes all these freedoms for granted? But you say it all the time. We're at the tip of the spear, and I do believe that. I think that there are so many people. When 700 people sign up to testify for a bill, and you look around and these dads are holding hands with their kids, and they are here to say, you are not going to take my children. It's amazing to me. It's just beautiful.
Well, and how do you think that we got to this point in Colorado? Because as I've talked with people, they can't believe some of the stuff that's happened down at the State House. How did we get to this point? Is it because we weren't paying attention, or what happened?
I mean, I wasn't. I'll use me as an example. I was working hard. I graduated from college and raising my children and paying my taxes and trying to create an environment for my children and filling in the bubble and thinking that was enough. And while I was doing that, Democrats were figuring out the Rocky Mountain heist, right? Figuring out a way to take over our beautiful red state and make it blue. And where have the liberal policies gotten us? We're the second least safe state, fourth highest in rape, 10th highest in trafficking, sixth most regulated. And what is all the money being spent? Because people say that Democrats say that the Taxpayer Bill of Rights limits their ability to spend. I mean, we're 43rd highest in road unsafeness. I mean, where have these liberal policies gotten us? Nowhere. And so people of Colorado have got to want to take their state back, and they've got to get involved. And, I can scream it from the rooftops that we've got to get better candidates to run, grassroots conservatives that don't have an agenda, that just want to fight for the people of Colorado. And people have got to wake up. They've got to get off their couches.
Now, that is for sure. So we're going to continue the discussion with Representative Brandi Bradley, and she did amazing work down at the State House. She is my legislator, which I'm very, very lucky that is the case. And did want to mention, though, before we go to break, the Center for American Values, which is located in Pueblo, and it's on the beautiful Riverwalk. They're non-political, they're nonpartisan. They just focus on these core principles of honor, integrity, and patriotism. And if we focus on high ideals instead of the carnal stuff that this Colorado State Legislature has been focused on, we will be able to reclaim our beautiful state. And so more information regarding the Center for American Values, go to AmericanValueCenter.org. That's AmericanValueCenter.org. And for anything mortgages, you want to reach out to Lauren Levy. He can help you in 49 of the 50 states, just not New York.
High inflation and increasing property taxes are making it more challenging for seniors to make ends meet. If you're 62 or older, a reverse mortgage may be the solution for what's keeping you up at night. It is essential that you understand the process and work with a trusted professional. Mortgage expert Lauren Levy will help you craft solutions for your unique circumstances, whether a mortgage, a second mortgage, or a reverse mortgage. If you'd like to explore what a reverse mortgage can do for you, call Lauren Levy at 303-880-8881. That's 303-880-8881. Call now.
Is the outside of your home looking dull? Paint peeling? Maybe it's time to make your home radiant again. At Radiant Painting and Lighting, we strive for excellence in bringing both quality paint and service to your home. We treat your home as if it were our own. Quality products mean longer life for your paint, because who wants to paint every other year? At Radiant Painting and Lighting, we don't just enhance your space, we transform it. Give us a call today, 720-940-3887. Let our team of professionals make your home or business truly shine. 720-940-3887.
You'd like to get in touch with one of the sponsors of the Kim Monson Show, but you can't remember their phone contact or website information. Find a full list of advertising partners on Kim's website, KimMonson.com. That's Kim, MONSON.com.
Trouble doesn't knock. It just enters. Will you be ready when it shows up? At Franktown Firearms and Colorado CQB, we don't just talk about safety, we train for it. Our brand new 2,500 square foot indoor shoot house gives you the chance to experience realistic close-quarter scenarios in a safe, controlled, non-lethal environment. You'll learn how to move with a firearm, clear rooms, and make smart decisions under stress, all with expert guidance from defense professionals. Whether you're brand new or an experienced shooter, these are the skills that protect you and your family when it matters most. This isn't tactical theater. This is practical training for real people. And for a limited time, we're offering an introductory rate of 50% off your training experience, saving you hundreds of dollars. Don't guess how you'll react in a crisis. Train for it. Go to klzradio.com/Franktown to take the first step toward real confidence. Colorado CQB. Real training for real life.
Welcome back to the Kim Monson Show. Be sure and check out our website. That is Kim Monson, MONSON.com. Sign up for our weekly email newsletter. You can email me at kim@kimmonson.com as well. Thank you to all of you who support us. We're an independent voice, and we search for truth and clarity by looking at these issues through the lens of freedom versus force versus freedom. If something's a good idea, you should not have to force people to do it. On the line with me is Representative Brandi Bradley. And Brandi, you have done amazing work down at the State House. And I had Sue Moore on earlier today with Liberty Scorecard. And we have a bit of a schism, I would say, regarding Republican legislators. There are some that have reached so far across the aisle that they're actually, I think, standing on the other side of the aisle and not standing for liberty, not standing for protecting Tabor property rights. And how would you address that, Brandi Bradley?
Well, I just addressed it yesterday on my X account when the Republican co-primed a bill, and it's taken $50 million from our taxpayer Bill of Rights. When you work with Democrats and you allow our governor to say this is the best bipartisan session we've ever had, and your constituents' Second Amendment rights are being stripped and First Amendment rights are being stripped and parents are losing custody of their kids, that's no caucus that I would like to be a part of, Kim, to be quite honest with you. And that's why I think that we need grassroots conservatives to step up to the plate and run against these people.
Well, and I know that there is a strategy. And Kent Thiry, who has been, really wealthy guys, been messing around with our elections through either ballot initiatives or different pieces of legislation that are passed. And I know that there is a strategy that I think he and Anschutz are pushing, and that is to stay away from social issues, that they're recommending that Republicans stay away from social issues. The people only care about crime and the economy, and so that's where they're recommending some of these legislators focus. And meanwhile, I think we're losing our state while that's occurring. Your thoughts?
I don't think that that's the right agenda. 87% of Americans don't stand for illegal immigrants being in our state. I think it's up to 70% of Democrats do not agree with transgendering children and gender mutilation, and they don't agree with boys playing in girls' sports or being in their safe spaces. So you either take a stand and you lead, or you abide by fear tactics. And I'm just not one of those. And if that gets me out of office, then so be it. I'm going to stand for his kingdom, and my worldview is that. And I think that more people should do it. I'm not going to reach across the aisle and violate Tabor or Second Amendment like I saw happen this session. And I think that those legislators' terms they will come to an end. I think that there are too many spotlights. There are too many people watching now. This isn't the legislative session from 5 years ago. At midnight, one day, there were still, I think, over 800 people watching the General Assembly, and they're calling people out. And I think they're tired of their representatives just pushing a button just to push a button.
Well, and what has happened, though, this beautiful state, we're in a way we've become almost, I think, a laughingstock of America. When people will say, "You're from Colorado. What is going on out there?" And so we've got to come together and stand up for. We've got to stand up for our children. And this idea that we'll just pretend that this stuff isn't happening down at the State House is not. It is not going to work. We've got to take a stand on this. And I really do recommend that people check out Liberty Scorecard, and then we will be working on our ratings report for Cut here over the next month or so as well. So looking into the next thing, how is it 700 pieces of legislation, and there is no way that these legislators that are carrying a lot of these bills even know what's in them? So is the Colorado legislature really being controlled by lobbyists with specific agendas, or what would you say to that, Brandi Bradley?
I think some of them are. I mean, you had State Rep Regina English, a Democrat, go to the well and say the lobby corps is not going to control me. I said it to the pharmaceutical companies who are running horrible bills that have given both sides of the aisle quite a bit of money. I mean, I would tell the people of Colorado, look at your representatives' tracer reports. When they're throwing in hundreds of thousands of dollars into a state house race, I would say you're bought and paid for. I've raised about $10,000, and that's mostly, I would say, from constituents. I don't take lobby money. Look at my tracer accounts. Look up where your representatives are taking their money from, and then you'll understand who they're fighting so hard for. The social media bill, the anti-gun lobby was running that bill. Why are we as Republicans on a bill that the anti-gun lobby is behind? I would love the answer for that.
And following the money is really probably the key thing. How can people help you? Now, we've got this next legislative session, and then hopefully you're going to run for office again. But so what do you see for this next legislative session coming down the pike? Anything yet?
Well, I think we're going to go into special session. I've heard mumblings through the grapevine, but I wanted to offer two pieces of advice. One, Republicans were able to kill a lot of really bad legislation. I think people say, you just go up there and talk and filibuster. No, we were able to pass. One was the health insurance affordability enterprise. I carried that bill in my briefcase since February 26th, waiting to pounce on this bill. It was going to raise people's premiums for a family of four by $880 a year. We were able to kill that bill just knowing that we were going to attack that bill. There were several bills that we were able to just let it PI on the calendar. There were other bills that they would just take amendments because they just didn't want to hear us talk. So I just want to tell the people of Colorado who think that we just go up to the well and just talk and talk and talk. We are actively fighting hard and making bad bills better, and that is good for the state of Colorado. And we're also actively killing bills that they don't hear about. So I just wanted to offer that. And then I wanted to offer that one person reached out to me last week about some horrific things happening at the Colorado Department of Public Health. And some of these employees are going to be fired by what this one person has found that was happening through conferences. This grant program has been put on hold. So don't underestimate the power that one person has to change what is happening in the state of Colorado. It's been amazing what this one person has sent me and what is happening at CDPHE and what this person has found. So I would just offer your listeners, Kim, the mustard seeds that are being planted and what your viewers and listeners are doing for the state of Colorado helps me immensely. So just don't underestimate that power.
Okay, that's good and very positive. And then special session, when do you think that's going to occur and what's it going to be about?
I mean, who knows? We have no money. I mean, I don't know how Democrats keep finding the money tree that I can't seem to find in the state of Colorado. I mean, passenger rail system costing billions of dollars that no one's going to ride. We had a couple of bills that died. A Shannon Bird bill that was a AI bill that they couldn't believe the Democrats killed. Tone actually killed it. I think that they were going to pull us back into session for that. I know the governor just vetoed a surprise ambulance bill that no one's happy about. So I don't know what they're calling us back into session, but I heard it's going to be sometime in October.
Gosh. Well, and then, in October, January is right around the corner for the next session. So it's like, why do that? It doesn't make sense to me. But it's primarily around money. And my gosh, the budget was what, $44 billion or something like that?
The budget, we're $1 billion in the hole, but your viewers also need to know, or your listeners, excuse me, the Democrats are creating enterprises, which mean that if they create a tax system that's under $100 million, they do not have to go to the voters to get the approval for. And so that's what we're seeing these Democrats do. They are creating new enterprises. I can't even remember how many enterprises they created this session, but that means about $100 million or just under $100 million of taxes generated that the voters do not have to approve on or to approve because it's under $100 million. So they need to note that as well. Whenever they hear an enterprise, that means a new fee system that's being created.
And fees or taxes, same difference. It's money out of
Correct.
people's pockets. And these enterprise zones, this is a way to get around Tabor so that this money is not used for the Tabor caps. And, of course, if the state government overcollects our revenue, takes more money from us than this generous formula of inflation plus population growth, then we're supposed to get our money back. And they do not want to do that. And again, one other thing, this Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party of your grandpa and grandma. This is a Democrat Party that is radical, activist, and they're in control here in Colorado. Representative Brandi Bradley, we've got 30 seconds left. Thank you for what you're doing. Your final thought.
I think Colorado is worth saving. I'm so willing to fight for it. I hope that some listeners, I've planted some mustard seeds. Please reach out to me. Follow me on Bradley for CO or any of the social medias. Step up to the plate. Our state is worth fighting for our kids, your grandkids. Let's reclaim Colorado, as Scott Bottoms would say.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Brandi Bradley. We'll talk again very soon.
Thanks, Kim. God bless you.
God bless you too. And a quote for the end of the show is from Napoleon Hill. He said, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you have." And today, be grateful, read great books, think good thoughts, listen to beautiful music, communicate and listen well, live honestly and authentically, strive for high ideals, and like Superman, stand for truth, justice, and the American way. My friends, you are not alone. God bless you. God bless America. Stay tuned for hour number 2.